Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back. Brandon with Campbell Fitness. We're in the car today just driving. Figured I'd go ahead and make one of these car vlogs. Haven't done one in a while. Give us a chance to be a little bit more personable and a little bit less formal. I know you guys like that. You don't like the robot Brandon, even though I probably shouldn't do that while driving, because if I ever get in an accident while doing this and I have video evidence of me doing the robot, pretty much going to be fucked. But regardless of that fact, what I want to talk about today is in regards to a question I get asked all the time, and that is, how long have you been lifting? For the answer for you guys that don't know is 16 years. But that's not what I want to focus on, because a follow-up question that I get on that, how long you've been lifting for, is, well, do you think you've reached your max potential? Or why you keep lifting? Are you still seeing gains? So my answer for this is no, I don't think I've reached my max potential, and yes, I do think I'm still seeing gains. Now, for me, a lot of the people that ask this question, I get the impression that they're younger people, so in their teens, maybe just starting out to lifting, and I do agree there is a max genetic potential that each of us can reach, at least naturally. Have I reached that point in my own estimation? I would say no. For me, the way I look at it, there's always room to improve no matter what you do. So true, I've been training for a long time. I've made a lot of gains. My gains themselves maybe have slowed down tremendously, but that's to be expected. You guys got to really put things in context and take a look at it in a real fashion. I think all too often, especially when we first start training, when we don't really know how things go, you see a lot of great gains when you first start training. That first year that you're actually in the gym and pushing weights, you're going to see a ton of progression, both in strength, in size, everything. What you'll find, however, as you continue to train, your gains will decrease as far as the rate at which they come. So you're still going to be able to see gains. I know people that are in their 50s and their 60s that are still able to increase their strength level, increase their actual muscularity, their body composition. They can still make these changes at whatever age they are. The way that I look at it is it's all about personal progression. So I think oftentimes we get real caught up in the competition of everything. And I know you guys know what I'm talking about. If you've ever been at a gym where maybe you're doing a certain exercise or you're on the treadmill, let's say, and somebody comes next to you and they do the exact same thing. So maybe you guys are both doing bench press and the guy next to you is benching 225. Well, you look at that weight, and a lot of us, I think it's just human nature to want to bench more than that, either do more reps or do more weight. And the same thing is definitely true when you're on the treadmill. I know I get caught up in these treadmill wars all the time. I'm sitting there on the treadmill doing my nice slow walk or whatever I do. And someone comes next to me and starts cranking up, and I hear that beep, 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 beep of them turning up that incline or them turning up the speed at which they're doing it. And I say, you know what? Fuck that. I'm going faster than you. And I go, boop, boop. And I pick them up, and then I see them glance over at me, and then they hear boop, boop. And they go right up, and I'm like, fuck that, boop, boop. And we're in a fucking boop, boop war before you know it. And it's just one of those things, where it's natural for us to want to compete, want to be better. However, when it comes to actual progress, I think it's more important to just look at our own individual progression. So, for example, sometimes when I put up these workout videos, a lot of you guys comment, oh, you're really strong. I don't look at it that way, because yes, maybe compared to someone who's doing less weight, I'm strong, but there are numerous millions of people out there who blow me out of the water as far as strength goes, and many of them are here on YouTube. You could look up, think of any weight you can pretty much think of within reason and type in a lift that you're looking for. So if you think a certain lift is impressive as far as, let's say, 600-pound bench, 1,000-pound squat, type that into YouTube, you'll find tons of people who are able to do that. So if I compare myself to those people, they blow me out of the water. They're probably twice as strong as a lot of my lifts. But I don't really think about it that way, because I don't really care. I can't control how much you lift, but what I can control is how much I do. So what I focus on is my own personal progression. So yeah, I've been training for a long time, but throughout the years, I've been able to lift more weights. Not to mention, I've been able to be stronger at lower levels of actual body weight than I have in the past. So yeah, maybe 10 years ago, I could do a certain weight for, let's say, 10 reps. Today, I can still do that weight for 10 reps. And some people might say, well, you haven't made any progression. Well, in reality, 10 years ago, I might have weighed 20 pounds heavier. Now I'm 20 pounds lighter and I can still do the same weight. To me, that's still progress. So the way that I look at it when I go into the gym and when I do any kind of lift or exercise, I don't really care what's going on around me. You know, that's why I wear hats, that's why I wear hoodies sometimes. You know, I definitely have my iPod in all the time. I don't really like to go in and talk to people. I like to go in and do what I have to do, and I focus on me, on what I'm doing. So again, a lot of these workout videos that I do, you guys comment, oh, did you see that girl? Did you see that ass? Or look at that guy being an idiot in the background. To be honest, the first time I usually see those is when I'm editing those videos or when you guys bring them up. Because when I'm there, I'm focused on what I'm trying to do. And that's really one of the reasons why I carry a workout log also. It's just, in order for me to progress, the numbers that I'm progressing by are more minimal than they have been in the past. So for example, moving up 5 or 10 pounds within a month's time frame, that's good for me. However, in order to be able to see that progression, a lot of times what I need to do is make sure that I actually track it on paper, because it's really hard to see, let's say, in the mirror, as opposed to, again, when you first started training and maybe you've been training for a month or two and you see all kinds of gains in the mirror. You know, you start seeing those veins coming out, you start seeing those stretch marks. I don't really have that happen with me anymore. You know, changes are slow, but they're steady and they're consistent, and that's what's important to me. A lot of times when people think of their gain progress within the first couple of months of training, they expect that to fully carry on their entire lifting career. And that's definitely not the case. And, you know, it's really evident by the people who message me who say, hey, you know what, I've been lifting for around a year and I'm just not getting any stronger. I really disagree a lot of times with that. I think you are getting stronger. You're just not used to the gains you're seeing because you're used to a faster progression. So I don't really let it worry me, because it's one of those things that, yes, lifting is very fun. It's something I very much enjoy doing for numerous reasons. You know, obviously for the physical benefits, there's health benefits, there's mental aspect of it, and it's just something that I enjoy doing. It's part of my daily routine. But if I was to really sit and stress out about, oh, you know what, I wasn't able to get one more rep on the bench, or I wasn't able to do 5 more pounds on this, or I don't feel I'm getting stronger, what I can do is I look back at my workout log and I have them going back from years and years ago, and I can say, all right, this makes more sense. Let me see what my nutrition was like. Let me see what my other lifts were like. Let me see how much I weighed at the time. And even I think in the last year, although if I looked in the mirror, I wouldn't say I'd made a lot of progress, I can look back on my YouTube videos from a year ago, you know, at certain points and say, wow, you know what? I've really made a lot of progress in the last year alone. And I think that's impressive for somebody who's older, so to say. I'm 31 again. So not necessarily old, but not necessarily young either. A lot of other people here that make YouTube videos that I correspond with are a lot younger than I am. In some cases, 10 years or so younger, which is fine. I don't mind about that at all. But for me, again, that's what it's about. So bodybuilding, fitness, to me is very, very selfish, because yes, other people are going to see the results that you're getting, but you know, I do it for me. I don't necessarily care what other people think about the weights that I lift or, you know, the form that I'm using necessarily. I try to do what's best for me, both in terms of making gains and as well as being safe. So we always want to stay safe because we don't want to snap some shit up. But again, I mean, the criticism I don't mind corresponding with people saying, oh, you know, you're a pussy, you should be doing more for your age, you've been lifting for so long. While on the other hand, a lot of you are very complimentary towards me, which I appreciate. It doesn't really bother me either way, because again, it's just about me. And I hate to say it that way because it's weird, because I put out a YouTube channel where I show certain things and I give advice, because, you know, I've been training a long time. I've seen a lot of things. I've seen things that I thought worked that didn't work. I'm just trying to pass it on to help you guys out. I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but what I'm trying to do is just give you some advice and maybe some helpful tips that I found that really helped me progress, and maybe some things that I wish that I did or didn't do. Hopefully it can help you guys at least think about it so you can make up your own mind. So getting back on topic here, personal progression. Again, I don't really sweat it. I don't care what other people are doing. Yeah, it's impressive when I see these big lifts, but for me, what might be more impressive in my opinion is if I'm able to add a couple of pounds to my maxes every year, or if I'm able to get a little bit leaner and still be strong. And that's really what I focus on, and doing it that way really leaves me for a stress-free life. Now, I'm not going to say I'm immune to having my bad days here and there. I put up that leg workout on Monday. I wasn't happy with it at all, but one of the things that I really like about filming these things is, first of all, I hear lots of great feedback. So a lot of you guys are saying, oh, you know, don't sweat it. Give me a lot of positive encouragement. But also for me, I can look back on that and use it for motivation. And that's exactly what I do. So I honestly, I can't wait till next week, next Monday, to get back in and go squat again and really kind of show myself what I'm capable of. So regardless of all my rambling, I know I kind of touched on a lot of subjects today, nothing really too in-depth. Let me know what you feel about your own personal progression, if it's ever gotten to you or not. But in the meantime, thanks for watching, and stay big.